This is the story of two men. Bertrand Piccard, psychiatrist and explorer, and André Boschberg, engineer and entrepreneur. A team driven by a vision of the future and a passion for innovation. And the first airplane of perpetual endurance, able to fly day and night without fuel. Together with their partners, they wanted to show the power of pioneering spirit and clean technologies to bring solutions for a better world. Solar Impulse, the adventure showing that change is possible.
Dr. Bertrand Piccard.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. You're not here to learn how to fly a solar-powered airplane, this I know. But like me, you have visions, hopes, targets to reach, and you want to be a leader. And you want to lead others in order for them to be also as successful as you are. But how do we become a leader? I think the first thing to understand is that we have to learn to think outside of the common assumptions, outside of the certitudes and beliefs that keep us prisoners of old ways of thinking. Because our experience and our knowledge is not always an advantage. It makes us believe that the future can be an extrapolation of the past, but it's wrong. The future must be disruptive. Otherwise, we will not learn to go in new directions. So I think what is really important to understand to become a leader is what are the ways of thinking, the paradigms, the dogmas that prevent us to move ahead. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples. When the father of my grandfather installed the first telephone in Switzerland, he was a professor at the university. He invited all his colleagues and made a demonstration. He turned the handle and told his wife to say he would be late for lunch. That was not new, but the way to announce it was new. And all his colleagues there said, "It's very nice, but it has no future." Why that? These guys were not stupid. But there was a paradigm in those days saying that if you want to call someone, you have to pull a cable between the emitter and the receiver. It means that to popularize telephones, you need to pull cables from every house to every house in the world, even people you don't know yet, because maybe one day you will need to call them. That makes billions of billions of billions of cables. You would not even see the sky. Of course, it wouldn't work. It's impossible. What made the revolution in the telecommunication? It's not the invention of the telephone, it's the invention of the operator, where you have one person connecting lines together. And that made it possible. When we see the big achievements in the history of aviation, of exploration, mountain climbing, it's exactly the same. The paradigm was changed. But which paradigm? A lot of people say it was technology. No, it was not technology. For the moon landing, yes, but for nothing else. The first airplane was made out of wood and cloth. It means that the Egyptians could have flown from the top of their pyramids 5,000 years ago. Why did they do it? Why did they do it? Just because it was prohibited by the mythology. Only the gods were allowed to fly. And when Leonardo da Vinci at the Renaissance, very close from here, made and built the first airplane models, he was not stupid enough to test them, to fly himself. Why that? Because he would have been tortured and burned by the church. When the Nepalese, the Tibetans were saying the Everest mountain for centuries, it was prohibited to profanate the holy mountain. So what happened in the beginning of the 20th century? It happened that explorers decided to break the rules, destroy all these paradigms. and they tried what no one had dared to try before. And in 66 years, which is really short in the history of humankind, 66 years only, you have the first airplane, you have the North Pole, the South Pole, the Everest Mountain, the Mariana Trench, and the Moon. Showing what? Showing that leadership is not about having new ideas. Leadership is about getting rid of old beliefs. And then you have the mind, the spirit, and the heart, empty enough and open to receive new ways of thinking, to receive new ways of doing. And then you have evolution, and then you get moving. It was exactly the same for me when I wanted to fly around the world non-stop in a balloon. People told me it was impossible. Because they told me the wing will take 3 weeks to go around the world, and the balloon we had flown the longest, with gas balloon, that was 6 days, and with a hotter balloon it was 2 days. And they told me you have no chance. Well, we just combined the two systems, having a gas balloon, and underneath we had propane burners to heat the helium. And we could triple the duration. We flew 20 days, 45,000 kilometers. That was the longest flight ever in the history of aviation. But it was the maximum that this new paradigm could achieve. Because at the landing, although it was successful all the way around the world, there was almost no fuel left. From the 3.7 tons of liquid propane, there was 40 kilos left in the last fuel tank. You see the level of the thrust on picture. So when you hear that the sky is the limit, it's wrong. It's not the sky that is the limit, it's the fuel. So I thought, if we want to change the paradigm again, if we want to be able to fly unlimited duration, changing the paradigm is get rid of the fuel. And I started to dream of a new way of flying on solar power, getting energy from the sun, transforming it into electricity to feed electric motors and charge batteries during the day, so you can fly at night on the battery, flying at night on solar power. That's also something that nobody thought that we could do. So how did we go from the first picture made by an artist on a computer to the successful adventure that you've seen in the introduction movie? Well, there are a couple of experiences that I'd like to share with you. The first one is, don't wait to have everybody supporting you before starting your project, because you will never start. If everybody agrees, it only means that you are not ambitious enough. You need to have at least 99% of the people telling it's impossible, and then you have to identify the 1% who's going to support you. I think that's a good advice. It's a good compromise. Like this, you know that your project is almost impossible, but not completely. For me, who was this institution who gave me credibility, who supported me from the beginning? It was the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, the famous EPFL, it's the MIT of Switzerland. And they accepted to run a feasibility study, which was led by André Borschberg, and that's how I met André. And after 9 months, what did we know? We knew that if we wanted to have the slightest chance of success, we needed an airplane that would be 236 feet in wingspan. That's bigger than a jumbo jet, but the weight of a family car and the power of a scooter. You imagine the challenge? And at this moment, I told to the guys at the EPFL, I'm going to make a press conference to announce that I'm going to fly around the world in a solar-powered airplane. And they looked at me, and they said, come on, Bertrand, come on. Don't you think it's too early? We have nothing, we have no technology, we have no team, we have no money, we don't know how to make that plane. And I told them, no, we have to do it. Because if we don't announce it publicly, what will happen? We'll go back to work tomorrow morning to try to make the impossible possible, and it will be difficult, and we will give up. Because it's very easy to give up when nobody knows what you're doing. So we made the press conference. We announced it publicly. And on the evening, there was pictures live on TV. And I remember I said to André, now we are condemned to carry on. We will never give up. We cannot give up. And this is the advice I give you. Burn the bridges behind you, so you are never tempted to give up. You have to move ahead. But there are other advices. Because of course, we had this tremendous adventure in front of us. And I knew that it's not because you have a great idea that you have to feel that you are more clever than others. No. Leaders know that they are not more clever. Leaders know that they have to use all the intelligence from everybody to make it common knowledge. And this is why the success was so big between André and I. André was exactly the opposite from me. He was a jet fighter pilot. I'm a balloonist. He is an engineer. I'm a psychiatrist. We could not be more different. And actually, during the 9 months of the feasibility study, we never agreed on anything, except on the fact that it was great to disagree. Because if you always agree with others, you learn nothing. You believe that you are right, but you have no idea if everybody agrees with you. If you work with people who are completely different, you have to challenge your certitudes and your beliefs all the time. Which means that leadership is not something you do alone. Leadership is something you do with others, and you share with others. So I told to André, I'd like that we partner together to lead that project. And from the 1 and 1 equal 1, the equation you construct when everybody thinks the same, we built an equation where 1 plus 1 equals 3. André, me, and both of us. His experience, my experience, and a third experience that appeared because of our frictions, because of our differences. And that was so interesting, because of course it created a bit of competition between the two. But the goal was not to be better than the other one. The goal was to be better than ourselves. We had never enough of learning from the other one, new ways of thinking and new ways of doing. And the entire team was built like that. There was such a diversity in the team, people working in every different possibility. Even a gardener was the head of the workshop, because he's a guy who knew how to make very, very light wood airplane models. So we started to work like this for 3 years, building, constructing a model, 3-meter, 10-foot plastic model, and we were very proud, but very naive. Because we thought that the world of aviation would be desperate to build that plane for us, to subcontract the construction. But of course not. They told us something like that cannot exist because it has never been done. It's outside of the flight envelope of any airplane. So can you imagine the answer? It is impossible because no one did it before? Well, these guys are no leaders. Because it's precisely because something has not been done before that we have to try. Otherwise, it will always remain impossible. But in the beginning, it's true that whenever a specialist told us these wings are too big and you can never make them, we felt like Dumbo. You remember Dumbo? With the big ears, trailing on the floor, exactly like our wings that were too big to interest the aviation industry. Well, you have to accept these moments. You have to accept these moments. You have to accept these moments of despair, depression, humiliation. You have to keep in mind that if what you want to do was easy, everybody else would have already done it. And you have to remember that Dumbo could become the hero of the circus thanks to his problem, thanks to his handicap. Everybody made fun of his big ears until he could deploy his ears and fly. We had to deploy our wings. But how could we do that? To give you an example, the structure of the airplane had to be 10 times lighter than the best competition glider, proportionally to the size, of course. So not 10% lighter, 10 times lighter. So you imagine why the world of aviation or the specialists believed it was impossible. So we had to find someone to build the wings that did not know that it was impossible. And who was that? The shipyard. The shipyard who built the hulls of the Alinghi boats who won the America's Cup twice for Switzerland. So when you have a country with no access to the sea, like Switzerland, winning the America's Cup twice, it means the constructor of the boat is really good. So we wanted that guy to build our plane. And we went to see him. And he told us, of course I can make the plane as light as you want, but I cannot work with your team who does not know how to use carbon fiber. So we were a bit annoyed. We went back to our team and they said, are you crazy or what? We cannot work with a shipyard who never built a plane. And that was Andre's task, to make the 1 and 1 equal 3. Between the shipyard who never built a plane and our team who couldn't handle carbon fiber. And it worked. It worked perfectly. And after 2 more years, we had an airplane. We had the first prototype. And what was interesting was also the reaction of all the companies to whom I asked to fund the project. We had to pay 150 salaries per year, the prototype, the subcontractors and everything. And I think I made a mistake in the beginning. I think I would have put for free, the logos of all the airlines and the airplane constructors, for free on the fuselage and the wings. And they would have paid me a fortune to remove their name. Because they were so afraid that I would crash and damage their reputation. None of them accepted spontaneously to help us. Who helped us? Completely different type of companies. In chemical industry, elevators, watches, engineering, telecommunication, champagne. Well, that was more for the team than for the plane. But for me, it was really strange to see that no one from the world of aviation and energy had any leadership in developing something new. I was really disappointed until I remembered that it was never the people selling the best candles who invented the light bulb. It's completely other people. Even in the automotive industry, it's the same. The electric car, the first electric car that was successful, was not invented by a car constructor. It was invented by a billionaire from the world of internet who had no idea how to make a car. And like this, he could be creative. He took what he knew, computer screen, and built a Tesla around it. And now all the official car constructors are running behind the success of Tesla to desperately have a little piece of the market share. So we understand that if we want to lead the progress, the evolution, we absolutely need to get rid of the old ways of thinking. We have to get rid of our habits, of our certitudes. We have to understand that this is not the way to think and to live. The straight line does not work. Business as usual does not work. And nevertheless, this is the way we learn to think. In school, in university, everywhere, we learn knowledge, we learn certitudes, we learn that we have to avoid the unknown, we have to avoid the doubts, we have to avoid the question marks. We don't want to look left and right because we don't want to lose the way of thinking we have learned. And when we hit an obstacle, we crash. And then we think, why is life so bad with me? Instead of asking, why am I not ready for life? So how should we get ready for life? We have to get ready for life in understanding that life goes in every direction. There are all the different ways of thinking, all the different directions. I was raised like that. I was allowed to ask questions all the time. I was a nightmare for my teacher because I never accepted to do anything if I did not have a reason why I had to do it. And I reproduced this with my children. Each time my children were coming back from school, I asked them, what did you learn today? And they explained me, and I said, okay, what would somebody from another country, another religion, or another period in time would say about what you have learned? And they understood that they would say something completely different. They would be on another road. They would be going in another direction. And nevertheless, it would be the same world and the same humankind. So it's so important not only to be pioneers, that means to open new roads, but also to be explorers. It means to explore all the different roads, all the different ways of thinking. And this is so exciting, because sometimes we succeed, and sometimes we fail. But the worst is not to fail. The worst is not to try. Can you imagine at the end of your life you would think, I had never failed, never, because I never tried anything. How miserable we would feel. If you turn back on your life and you say, I had some success, I had some failure, but I took all the opportunities that life was giving me. Isn't that more inspiring? So you see, the leader is not the one who always succeeds. The leader is the one who is not afraid of failing. He's the one who tries everything. One way to explain that is ballooning. Ballooning for me is a beautiful metaphor of life. Because in a balloon you are pushed by the wind, in the direction of the wind, at the speed of the wind. And you can do nothing else than following the wind. In life, very often, we are pushed by the winds of life, by everything we cannot control. The political decisions, the economical rules, the financial crisis, love, failure, success, ruptures, crises, all the things that we cannot control. And in a balloon, the difference is that we learn that there are different layers in the atmosphere, different layers of wind. So when your direction is not good, you can change your altitude to take another layer of wind that has another direction. And I think this is what we need to learn in life. We need to learn how to change altitude in the winds of life. That means psychologically, philosophically, spiritually, of course, also. In our relation with ourselves and relation with others. In order to catch other influences, other visions of the world, other solutions, other strategies, other answers that will necessarily push us in different directions. But for this, we have to understand how to change altitude in a balloon. In a balloon, we have to drop ballast. We have to drop weight. And each time you drop a bit of weight, you climb a few meters. And you write in your logbook for each altitude, which is the direction you have. So when you do that through the entire atmosphere, you have, for the first time in your life, an absolutely reliable prediction of the future. You know for each altitude which direction you'll have. And then you bring back the balloon at the altitude where the direction is the one you want to take. In life, it's the same. But in life, we have ballast, but we don't learn to throw it overboard. This is the problem. So if we manage to identify our ballast, then we can be a balloonist in our life. And we can lead other people to find better directions. What is the ballast that we have in our life? Certitudes, safety, beliefs, exclamation marks, convictions, paradigms, dogmas. We have all this with us on board. And we learn to keep it instead of throwing it overboard. We learn to keep it because we believe that we are stronger with all these certitudes. No, we are not stronger, we are heavier, which is very different. And if you want to be a leader, don't be a leader with strong convictions, certitudes, habits, beliefs, going in always the same direction. No, it's dangerous for others. It's dangerous because you don't know if the direction you go to is the right one or not. If you want to be a leader, you have to doubt. You have to understand that maybe there are other ways to think, other ways to do than the one that you do. So you need to be completely open, not only to other people, but to maybe even to the opposite of what you have learned. What I mean by dropping ballast is the fact that when we have a decision to take or an answer to give, usually we always answer the same. It's what we have learned. It's one road, one straight road. Imagine that you think, okay, I'm not going to do the same each time. I'm going to envisage the opposite. Instead of saying yes, I'm going to envisage what would happen in my life if I say no. And then you see that behind the two extremes you have thousands of different roads, thousands of different ways to do it. And one of them will be better. You don't know which one, but you're going to explore it. So when I say this, maybe you will think, of course we always do like that. So let's push the provocation a bit further. If I ask you, do we have to vote left or right? If I ask you, do we have to support Israel or Palestine? If I ask you, do we have to reintroduce death penalty or not? Do we have to make drugs legal in school or not? Usually you will answer immediately, of course yes or of course not. At this moment, you are not free. You have your ballast on board. You are a prisoner of what you have learned. You are not a leader. You're a computer. You are reproducing what you have already learned. But each time you think, oh wow, that's an interesting question. Until now, I would have answered this way. What could I learn from life if I envisioned the opposite? Maybe the opposite is not better, but you envisage it. And you try to look at all the different possibilities, all the different ways of thinking, until you retain the one that goes in the direction you want. If you manage to do this, life is going to be like a firework. For every explosion, you have all the different directions, and you choose the one you want. And what we call leadership, crisis management, creativity, innovation, pioneering spirit, adventure, exploration, whatever. This is just the way we explore this vertical axis. All the altitudes, all the way of thinking, all the ways of reacting, until we find the one that goes in the best direction. This is actually what we had to do for Soaring Pulse. To have the first airplane that could fly day and night on solar energy, without fuel. Can you imagine how you feel when you fly in an experimental airplane that all the specialists believed was absolutely impossible? And you see that the reality is possible. It's possible, because the impossible is only in the mindset of the people who are not able to drop ballast and change altitude. But although there was only one pilot in the plane, sometimes André, sometimes me, there was a huge team. And why did this team work with us? for so long with so many difficulties and so much hard work to do. It was a difficult period of time, 15 years to achieve the impossible. And this was made possible by the purpose we had. The goal was not to break records. The goal was to show that clean technologies and renewable energies could achieve goals that were much more ambitious than what usually people think. And this motivated the team. And I have a fantastic example of that, once that I was walking in the street in Zurich in northern Switzerland, and a pretty young lady started to scream at me in the street. And she told me, "I recognize you, you are solar impulse, I hate you." I said, "Why that? What happened? What did I do to you?" And she said, "Because of you, I lost my boyfriend." I said, "Wow, what did I do?" And I told her, "Well, what happened?" And she told me, "My ex-boyfriend, he's your chief engineer. And he was working all the time. And he couldn't go in the movie show with me. He didn't take me out for dinner. He was working all the time with his computer, even in holidays." And I asked her, "Yes, okay, I'm sorry, but did you tell him that you wanted to see him more often?" And she answered this sentence I always remember. She told me, "Of course, I asked him, I told him, but you know what he answered? He answered me, if you want to change the world, you have to make some sacrifice." If you want to change the world, you have to make some sacrifice. This chief engineer knew that his task was not to design a plane, glue some carbon fiber, or weld some electric wires. His goal was to change the world, to show that there were other ways of dealing with energy, that there were new technologies that could protect the environment. And this is probably the best example of leadership that you can see. In the management, you tell people what to do. In the leadership, you explain people why to do it. You give a purpose. And this is what always disappoints me in this world, is how few leaders we have as key decision makers. We should have much more leaders in countries, in states, in cities. We should have much more people who give a purpose, who tell to the citizens where we go and how to go there and why we have to go there. And because the politicians today far too often are only managers and not leaders, we have so many citizens who don't care about politics anymore, and we see where we're going. So it's really important to have leaders who are able to bring the enthusiasm, the emotion, the reason, the purpose into every action, every day. Even in the family, you have to be leaders for the children. Because educating a child is not to feed him with experience and feed him with knowledge. It's to feed him with dreams, passion, and ambition to succeed in doing new things that no one has done before. This is why we continued on our mission with Solar Impulse after the landing of the successful flight. This is the team, or half of the team in Abu Dhabi after I landed there, finishing the round the world adventure in 2016. And remembering that the success is not a goal in itself. Success is only a step where you climb in order to have more visibility, more credibility, more possibilities to go further and to do better. Success is not there to sit in an armchair and look in the past and say my life was fun. Success is there for the future, to look in the future. What can I do better and how can I go further? And this is why we have this banner in front of the team. Take it further. What does it mean, take it further? For us, it means that our airplane was a symbol. Symbol of what you can do with clean technologies. But it's not enough because it's not practical today to fly 200 people in a solar-powered airplane. You see how difficult it was only for one person. So going further means that we have to find solutions through new technologies to have a better world. Exploration today is not only to find new territories, especially because all the territories have been found, even the moon. So exploration today is about improving quality of life. It's about fighting poverty. It's about respecting other humans. It's about health, about education. It's about governance. It's about protection of the environment. And this is what we have decided to continue to do with the Solar Pulse Foundation, to identify 1,000 solutions, technologies, systems, devices, programs, whatever, that are financially profitable for the industry and the economical world, and at the same time can protect the environment. And to bring all this to the leaders of this world in order to show them how they can be better leaders for the future of humankind, to give them the tools. Because each time I meet heads of state, I'm so badly surprised that they think, wow, protecting the environment, it's difficult, it's expensive. It's not true. It's not difficult because solutions exist. And it is not expensive because today all these technologies have become profitable. So the adventure continues. When you are in the leadership process, the adventure never stops. And you will be in that situation. You are trained as leaders. You will become district governors. But it's only a step to be more helpful for others, to do more good around you, to inspire other people. So in that sense, I'd like to finish with this picture here. I think this picture represents my entire speech. I did this picture at the end of the round-the-world balloon flight with the Brightline Orbiter 3 balloon. It's one of the windows of the capsule. It is frozen by the moisture of the night, and on the other side of these big ice crystals that are stuck on the glass, you have a rising sun. But you will never see the rising sun if you don't first go through the ice. And this is what so many people are afraid to do. Because in life, very often we have a lot of ice. We have problems, crises, difficulties, sadnesses, suffering. And sometimes we think, it's too difficult, I'd rather stop. And you see so many people who prefer to suffer in the ice they know, rather than to take the risk of going through the ice to see what there is on the other side. So we need to take all these opportunities of life where we have ice, all the crises, all the moments where we lose control, all the moments where life is hard with us, in order to understand that the decision we can take at this moment is to go through the ice to see what there is on the other side. And when I was flying with solar pods across oceans, at night, alone, I had these moments. And I was feeling much better than in any other moment of my life. And I was asking myself, why is that? Why do I feel so good in a moment where everybody would be afraid? It's just because I was out of my comfort zone. I was out of all the paradigms, out of all my habits. And I could be truly myself. I could just be in relation with myself, with my potential, with my inner performance, with no parasite, with no habit, with no certitude that would keep me in a box, that would put me at low level because of heavy ballast. No, I could just be free. And I think this is what we have to offer to others. Because a lot of people don't like to go through the ice because they're afraid. And if you want to be leaders, if you want to be helpful for others, if you want really to express the meaning of the lions, you have to help others to go through all these difficult moments. You have to inspire them. You have to give them hope and confidence. You have to show them that human beings have all the resources, all the potential, all the skills, all the qualities inside of themselves to explore life as a beautiful adventure. Because if we refuse the crisis, it will always remain a crisis. But if we accept the crisis, it becomes an adventure. And this is what we have to do to help other people to transform their life into a great adventure. This is how to be useful, and I hope we can all do it together. That's what I wish for all of us. Thank you and good luck.